Today we're talking about vibrato and tremolo and how Leo Fender screwed the whole thing up. Stick around. How's it going, you guys? My name is Cooper Greenberg here at Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, and if you would like to support us, you can visit the Teespring link below in the description, where you can find a lot of cool custom t-shirts that we've designed, including our storefront of our building. There's also some really cool designs from our guy behind the camera, Josh, like laundry day. Got a lot of pics coming out of that dryer. And this custom Cooper Greenberg t-shirt is not available because I made 20 of them 3 years ago. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about two different modulation effects, vibrato and a tremolo, and how they're different and how maybe the lines have gotten blurred over time. And you can thank Leo Fender for that one because, as we mentioned in a video that we did not too long ago, Leo Fender kind of confused those two things, and he assigned them to the opposite of themselves using the Stratocaster tremolo system and then putting a vibrato channel on amps. So if you watch our video about different vibrato systems, you know that vibrato is modulating pitch, and it does this by changing your pitch up and down and providing somewhat of like this kind of warbly effect. And there's different systems that are built into guitars, like the Stratocaster or the Bigsby or the Maestro Vibrola, that all do this in similar but different ways. And when Leo Fender designed his truly a vibrato system, he called it the tremolo arm. So if you're playing on a whammy bar and you're referring to it as a tremolo arm, you're not modulating your volume as a tremolo does. You're changing your pitch, which by definition is vibrato. People do this with their vocals, they do it with pedals, they do it on synthesizers and guitars, and everybody else got it right by calling it vibrato, except for Leo Fender. You'll also see on certain amps, like say a deluxe reverb where there's a vibrato channel, that is tremolo. So you hear that stuttering kind of hiccupy sound, and you're modulating your volume by sending it up and down at different rates and different depths, and that is mistakenly called vibrato on those amps. If you're confused, I am too, as I'm talking about it. But I chose these two pedals, both from Boss, to kind of demonstrate these two sounds. And also, I can give you some great examples of songs where you can hear these things. When I think about tremolo, and I think about very fast, deep, volume modulation, my mind goes to How Soon Is Now by the Smiths, because you get that Johnny Marr guitar right up front from the very beginning that's like stuttering right in your face, and that is like tremolo to its truest. There's also the song Crimson and Clover by Tommy James and the Shondells. Very cool example in the last kind of coda of the song. They actually recorded vocals through a guitar amp with the trem just blasting, and you can hear it's through a guitar amp. It's vocals through a guitar amp. It's a very, very cool sound. And then when you think about vibrato, there's a big range of how this effect can be used. Like I said, you can have one of these systems on your guitar that you can put a whammy bar on and do very slow kind of surfy type things. You can do dive bombs, Eddie Van Halen style with the Floyd Rose. But it's somewhat a little more akin to like a chorus or a rotary, where you can hear these very subtle or very extreme, depending on your settings, pitch changes. And at its most subtle form, it can just add a lot of kind of dimension to your sound. It makes it sound like it's moving more. It gives it a little more just shimmer and just a very pretty sound. But you can also just crank all the knobs of vibrato, or you can just hammer on a Floyd Rose or something and get some really, strange, unique, almost alien-like sounds. So these two pedals that I chose to kind of demonstrate these sounds, first off, we got the TR2 from Boss. This is their classic tremolo pedal. Probably is, been on a lot of boards. A lot of you have probably had this pedal. If you're not using tremolo on your amp, this is kind of the go-to. And it's just got 3 knobs on it. It's got your rate, so that's the speed of your volume modulation. Depth, so if you're all the way, dimed on this knob, you're going from silence to full blast, and you can crush that to make it sound more of the bang bang Nancy Sinatra kind of vibe. And then this one gives you the ability to kind of blend your waveform. So this goes from a triangle wave to a square wave. So with the triangle, you're going to be getting a little more gradual, at least like some up and down peaks, and a square is just on and off. That's self-explanatory, but everything sounds good on the in-between. So we'll dial in a few different tones on here, different rates, different depths, and different waveforms, so you can kind of hear how much this pedal can do. And on the vibrato side, I have this one. It's the VB2W W4 Wazacraft. If I had the Waza for this one, I'd be using the Waza just because they're awesome pedals. Waza being their kind of more high-end component Japanese-made pedals. This vibrato, even though it's the Waza, it stays very true to the classic Boss vibrato pedal. It does have a little switch, which you can see down below the knobs between S and C. All of the Waza pedals have that, so you go from the standard classic to custom, which is just a little different voicing. And this is very similar. So rate and depth, you can change how fast you're going with the modulations and how kind of intense those modulations are, and rise time. You've also got different modes here: latch, bypass, and unlatch. And again, on this one, we'll dial in a few different tones just so you can kind of hear the difference and hopefully not be confused between these two ever again. Stick around. So there you have it. There's just a few samples of these pedals that can do a lot more than I just, put them through. I really dig how on this vibrato pedal they have the unlatch mode, so you can be playing without the effect, step on it, get that kind of fluttery, beautiful 3D sound of the vibrato, and then take your foot off and it's gone. But both of these pedals are really nice if you put them in, subtle settings. They're nice always on kind of textural pedals. So whether you're playing ambient stuff or kind of surf rock or lo-fi things, both of these can be subtle enough to where they just add dimension to your sound. But then on the other hand, you can crank them to their most extreme versions and find really musical, cool things to do with them. But these aren't the only two vibrato and tremolo pedals that are available. Even just in our store, we have some really cool stuff from Fender, the MTG Tube Trem that they just put out. It has even more features. It's a very beautiful sounding pedal where you can, customize your waveform and all that kind of stuff. These are, really easy to find a place in your sound with these pedals without having to, add way too much kind of foreign tone. But like I said, when you're thinking of Fender stuff, a whammy bar is not a tremolo, and the channel on, second channel on an amplifier that says vibrato, that is not a vibrato. You need to switch those around when you're kind of understanding these two effects. There's really great options, where you can either get these together in pedals. You can get pedals that have tremolo and reverb, like the Flint from Strymon, which is a pedal that we're big fans of over here. But overall, it's really nice to kind of get these two separated, clarify what each one does and how much bigger they can be in sculpting sounds. And hopefully you like the tones that we're putting out on these two things. So if you have a favorite pedal for vibrato or tremolo, or if you have a vibrato system on your guitar that you prefer one over the other, Maestro versus Bigsby, let us know in the comments what kind of stuff you guys are doing and what type of stuff that you'd like to see more of when it comes to comparing different types of tones, different types of pedals, and just kind of talking about things that we like. So thank you guys very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like and comment and do all that extra stuff, and we really appreciate y'all's support. We'll see you next time.